Hello everybody. Today I'm trying out new angle. Let's see if this works. See if the audio's still okay with this angle, because I don't have a microphone yet. But yeah, I don't think I've gone over any books before. Yeah, I haven't. I've just been kind of spouting my knowledge that I have. So, and the knowledge of podcasts. But today I'm gonna be kind of giving you lessons that I learned from this book. Maybe if that works. It's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's a really good book. You should go buy it. I think at first it's difficult to read because of the language it uses. Its English is it's funky English, not the modern English you and me speak. It's like the older English kind of. So it takes a little bit to understand, but if you have been reading higher level books, you should be able to understand it relatively well. So yeah. And if you can't really understand the book all the way through, well, that's what I'm here for, to break down some lessons that this book holds. So yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's I don't know if it was $8 or so. What does it say? It says USA $11 on the back, so somewhere around there. Pretty cheap for a good meditative insight book that it teaches you a lot. So let's just get right into the lessons. So the first lesson I found in this book, I think is the lesson that it mostly kind of hampers on the most, is the fact that you can pretty much choose how you feel. So that's a principle of Stoicism, I believe, is that you can pretty much just choose how you feel in the moment. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to do with severe emotions like anger and stuff, but you can, in every situation that you're in, you can choose how to feel. It's a matter of if you willingly decide to or not. That's one of our greatest powers as people, is that we can choose what thoughts we have regarding and how we react to situations. That's really what this book goes over a lot, is you control how you react, because if there's nothing else you can control, it's your brain. That's the main thing you control, right? If there's nothing else in this world that you can control, it's this, right? This is the one thing that all humans are able to control. So I pulled a quote for every lesson. So the quote I have for this one is, "Choose not to be harmed and you won't be harmed. Do not feel harmed and you haven't been." So that just reaffirms what I said, is if you decide, if someone says something insulting to you, "Oh, you suck at X or Y," you can either one be insulted by this random person that was "Hey, you suck," right? Of course, maybe it is a genuine criticism, and you got to look internally to see if it's true or not. And if it is an actual flaw, maybe you should fix it, right? Because some people do point out genuine flaws in you, right? But if it's something don't take it as something to be offended by. Take it as something don't be harmed by it. Yeah, genuinely. And if they're just full of crap, then just accept that they're full of crap and move on. If someone said to a bodybuilder, "Yeah, you're small," but that bodybuilder, they see that comment and they reflect and they look, it's yeah, I'm not that small, I don't know what this guy's talking about, right? He's full of crap. So kind of think of it like that. Moving on. The second lesson I have is be honorable. So this book does, I feel like it's a little bit more abstract in this book, but there is places where it's like you should be like morally just and honorable. So the quote I have is never regard something as good if it makes you betray a trust or my handwriting is bad, or ruse your sense of shame, or make you show hatred, ill will, or hypocrisy, or a desire for things best done behind closed doors. So, I mean, this could be applied to a business, right? So it's like if you had to like kind of backhand deal someone in a business, or you did backhand someone in a business, like don't regard it as good. It's not a good thing to do a misdeed to someone, regardless of who that is. If you do a misdeed to someone, then you're no better than the person who did a misdeed to you. Really? Like, yeah, think about that. So, never regard something as good if it makes you betray trust or show hypocrisy. So the next lesson I have is stop with the distractions. So, I mean, you can't take this lesson and be like, well, yeah, there's lots of distractions in life. So the quote I have is, stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked around by selfish impulses. And it goes on, but it's a long quote, so I just shortened it down. So, I mean, this can go hand in hand with a lot of things in our current day. So there's the selfish impulse to self-indulgence, right? So that can be anything from drugs, alcohol, porn, just like food, I guess, yeah, but like indulgence in selfish impulses that aren't really productive, right? And it says in the book to stop being jerked around by this. And a lot of people in the modern day, they're constantly pulled away from things more productive that they could be doing with these selfish impulses and these distractions. So yeah, that's another reason why I like this book, is because it says, like, it just kind of calls you out on your crap. It says in the book, throw away your books. What it means by that is to throw away your like distracting things, because like I'm guessing back in the day, they obviously didn't have phones, so they just read books for fun, right? Which sounds weird nowadays, right? Because you don't read books. But I mean, it's just like your fiction books, your crap that doesn't help you, right? And there does come a point when you shouldn't be reading a book, and you should be going out and doing the action, right? Because you can read all day and know everything, right? But it doesn't matter if you know everything if you don't go out and do it. I think that's the topic for another video, is like action over knowledge. I'll have to write that down. So yeah, just stop being distracted in your life. Break out. Stop being an NPC. So I touched base with this earlier with the first lesson, but it teaches stoicism and discipline. So I didn't write this quote down, but I have it bookmarked. The quote is, doing your job without whining, never taken aback or apprehensive, neither rash nor hesitant or bewildered or at a loss, not obsequious, but not aggressive or paranoid either. Generosity, charity, honesty. The sense he gave of staying on the path rather than being kept on it. Oh, and I forgot. Self-control and resistance to distractions. Optimism in adversity, especially in illness. So for this book, that's page 8 and 9, 15 Maximus. And that's pretty much just Marcus Aurelius being like, this guy Maximus I knew, he's really inspirational for like the stuff I just said. But yeah, like, of course, the self-control and resistance to distractions, you gotta cultivate that within yourself. Doing your job without whining, that's kind of a discipline thing. So doing the hard work when you don't want to, right? Going to the gym even though you're tired, even though your legs hurt, even though your arms hurt, even though you're sore. Going on a run even though you ran yesterday. Working on your business even though it's doing a little bit better now. It means just doing it. It's stop whining about it. And then the never taken aback or apprehensive, neither rash nor hesitant or bewildered or at a loss. I think that's more of a stoicism thing. So just like, kind of observe before reaction, right? Genuinely take your time to think about doing something. And if you're calm in that, you'll find the solution. I think that was phrased pretty well. Yes, back to my notes. The fifth lesson that I've learned from this book is I said nature's will, and that's more of accepting that nature is like a thing, right? So in nature there's life and death, and I mean that's the majority of it is life and death, right? Life is beautiful because it doesn't last, right? Nothing is is that quote is that nothing is beautiful a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts forever, right? So you got to think about it. The book talks a lot about an olive on an olive tree. So an olive all throughout its life is like best when it's ripening, right? So when you're like on the edge of decay and dying, that is when you're most like peak, right? It's like for a lot of fruit, right? It's like when they're most ripe, that is when they're most sweet, right? I don't mean like in age wise, I mean in like a closeness to death, right? And that's like the entirety of life. And so if you hide away your entire life, not, I wouldn't say risking like physical, like actually dying, but like if you're on the edge if you're hiding away from the edge of like a death or like a risk, then you're not truly experiencing life. And yeah, there's going to be those people that are more conservative or less conservative, right? But what I'm trying to say is is that you need to be kind of risking something for your life to be, I guess, more exciting, more beautiful, right? That's how you succeed in business, right? Is you start a risk, right? You put down money to get all the beginning stuff for your business, right? Or you invest a lot of your time, or I wouldn't say really gambling, right? But I mean that's how people get like highs off gambling, right? It's because they have this possibility and they're risking it all, right? I kind of got off topic, but yeah, life is beautiful because it doesn't last. So just for one, remember it doesn't last, and do something about it, because you're not going to live forever, right? You're not going to have forever to hide in your room and not do anything, right? So go out and do something with it. Go out and take a risk. You need to. That's how you grow. And if you fail, then good for you, because failure is just the beginning to success. Everyone fails. Yeah, I kind of saved that. So yeah, the last lesson I have, number 6, is phrase your prayers and your wishes differently. So what I mean by this is, a lot of people, they'll wish for something to be different. They'll wish, like, oh man, I wish I had more time. Instead of wishing for like more time, wish and pray for the ability to kind of get more time. Wish for the ability to be more efficient with your time. There's a lot of people that wish for a certain action to happen, but they just kind of like, man, I wish this would happen, but it doesn't happen, because they're not wishing, because if they're wishing for the ability for it to happen, you'll start to see opportunities to develop that ability happen, right? It's kind of weird, right? And you just gotta phrase the way you kind of ask for things from like a divine source, or whatever you believe in. Just like try and phrase it differently, and you'll start seeing it in your everyday life. So the quote I have for this one is, not some way to sleep with her, but a way to stop wanting to. Not some way to get rid of him, but a way to stop trying. So yeah, obviously don't wish for the ability to do bad things, right? Because I just feel like it's not productive. So, but it's like the way to stop trying to get rid of him. In the quote, it says, it's just ask for the ability to do something instead of the actual results, because most of the time you won't get the result, even if you're wishing for it, and you'll become discouraged, and in that. But you gotta just change your phrases, and if you ask for the strength rather than the outcome, you're gonna become stronger for that, I suppose. It's like asking, like, man, I hope this basket will move up, right? It's not gonna do it for you, right? So ask for the ability to move that basket instead. That's the way I see it from this quote. I also forgot the quote for number 5, so we're gonna come back to number 5. So my quote is, like an olive that ripens and falls. I talked about the olive, and then can you call anything a misfortune when it doesn't violate nature's will? Yeah, we're going back to number 5 now, because I obviously didn't talk enough about that. So again, with nature's will, it's life and death, right? So if something dies, obviously that is nature's will, right? And you have to accept that. And it's not a misfortune that it has happened. It's just nature's will. So I know this kind of sounds messed up, but in kind of an odd way of looking at it, because like if you do have a severe like emotional connection to, let's just say like your dog dies, right? Yeah, you will think it's a misfortune, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to not think of it as a misfortune, but the truth is, that, I mean, this might kind of suck to hear, but it it has to happen, right? Because that's what life is. It's not forever, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's because it's not forever. So yeah, okay. All right, done with number 5. So those are my 6 lessons that I've learned from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. I hope you should read the book and try and pick out what I said today. Yeah, I wrote all this stuff down, but I'm not gonna say it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a W day.